When we truly understand karma, we see that one of us can never really gain from another's loss. If it looks like we can, then we're caught in the illusion of separateness. We'll cause ourselves to suffer again and again until we get it right. After being nailed to the cross, Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do." Those who see the truth don't get lost even in the heaviest scenes of the movie. As we look around, it's easy to see that the most of us aren't yet playing with the house advantage. We haven't yet gotten tired of the hustle and hypes. We haven't yet reached upward and inward for the truth of how life works, or why we struggle so hard. So much fear, so much desire. Do we really have anything to lose by going after bigger stakes? All these words, love, truth, power, spirit, they're all the same thing. There's no single word for it because it's way beyond the mind, way beyond thoughts or concepts. That's why Jesus said, "My own peace, which surpasses understanding." It's like an old Indian story of 5 blind men who were placed before an elephant asked to describe it. One felt the trunk, one the ears, one a foot, one the huge belly, and one the tail. So when they reported back to the king, they argued over what this creature was like. But the elephant was actually all they could describe and much more. Likewise, our spiritual elephant is much more than gathering up a few laws like karma and thinking we've got it covered. Instead of touching one little part of the elephant, instead of collecting information and facts and memorizing them, it's all a matter of emptying our minds of all assumptions, all attitudes and limitations and definitions, so that we can see life fresh in each moment. This is what the Zen master Suzuki Roshi called beginner's mind. It's the same principle as in martial arts, a mind which is open, free of fear, free from unwanted thoughts, will be clear and powerful enough to deal with anything. It's important to remember that such power doesn't need to be developed. Rather, it's discovered as we gradually work through karma and get free from habitual ways of living. When we let the big view sink in, the ordinary becomes miraculous, and miracles seem quite ordinary and acceptable. Life in the fast lane is replaced by a life in the vast lane. See, I shall make all things new. Nothing outside of us has to change. Sure, it might be fun to try a different role in the movie, to be out of prison, to be handsomer or prettier or richer or healthier or taller, skinnier or smarter. But all those conditions still come and go with time. They belong to the world of appearances, the world of birth and death. Look at an aging beauty queen sometime and see how pitiful she looks, her heavy makeup and tight girdles, trying to hold on to her passing beauty for just one more year, just one more day. The beginner's mind is always living in the very moment of creation. If we're not trying to hold on to the past and not jockeying in a position for the future, then we finally belong in the world as it exists in the present moment, the eternal now. No power exists anywhere else. All that we usually call real keeps slipping through our fingers. So how real can it be? This is where the spiritual path goes way beyond religion, psychology, or education. True reality has to include the mad, the mystical, the unspeakable, which puts all the rest into proper perspective. Hi, Braulio. Did you get too hot by the fire? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And it will come from one-to-one connection with the forces of creation. That's why Jesus called it the narrow way. In the Hindu and Buddhist traditions, there is a word used to describe the world of appearances, of constant change, Maya. It means illusion. It means that the whole world of karma, of birth, growth, decay, and death is just one big dream, a magic trick which seems real but doesn't actually exist. It seems real only because of the slowness of our eye and the quickness of God's hand. Every now and then, as an act of grace or good fortune or whatever, God's hand slows down a little, and even if it's just for a moment, we see behind this magic veil of Maya. It happens to people in every walk of life. For some, it changes their whole lives. Others freak out or try to forget what they saw as soon as possible. It may happen in a flash or after years of faith, patience, and effort. Some of us have touched these higher realities when we've been stoned or tripping, and then we want to stay stoned because life seemed to make so much more sense that way. The problem is, drugs are just one more part of the Maya we're stuck in. They may provide very valuable spiritual experiences in the short run, but if we keep using them, even our highest insights will get all twisted around and eventually just turn into more painful illusion. What we have to appreciate about Maya is that we can never hold on to an illusion, no matter how solid or promising it seems. In India, monkey hunters hollow out a hole in the coconut and put sweet candies inside. The hole is just big enough for the monkey to squeeze his empty hand into, but not big enough to get the fistful of candies out. Then they stake the coconuts into the ground. The monkeys find it and reach into it to get the candy, but then they're stuck. Oh, it's sad. They have only two alternatives: hang on to the candy and be captured, or let go and be free. Time and time again, even though they never get to eat it anyway, the monkeys refuse to let go of their attachment to the candy, to the illusion of how good it would taste, and so they get caught. How many times in our lives do we do the same? How many times in a day? God, that's a powerful image, isn't it? A guy goes to a psychiatrist and says, "My brother needs some help, doc. You see, he thinks he's a chicken." The doctor says, "Well, bring him in to see me." The guy says, "I'll do that, but the problem is, frankly, we need the eggs." The whole spiritual path is nothing more than being a simple realist about how life works, how the universe operates. We'll always be walking around in Maya, but the trick is to remember that we're walking around in Maya and to honor the rules of the game. We act out our script, but we don't have to forget we're merely actors, and that the whole movie is just a fictional story anyway, taking place only on the screen of God's mind. Where else is there? Why are you unhappy? Because 99% of the things you do, think, and feel are about yourself. And there isn't one. Serious questions arise when the truth about Maya begins to sink in. Is life just an illusion? Then why care about karma? What's the big deal about good and evil or right and wrong? Why put any effort into the parts we play? Why not just say, hell, if nothing is real, then nothing matters, and I'm just going to grab what I can while I can. Screw everyone else. Screw the hungry, the poor, the oppressed. They're not real anyway. Here's another mystical secret. Nothing really matters at all. But those who truly know this carry out their lives as though every moment had a sacred meaning and importance. Don Juan, what exactly is controlled folly? I am happy that you finally asked me about my controlled folly after so many years, and yet it wouldn't have mattered to me in the least if you had never asked. Yet I have chosen to feel happy, as if I cared that you asked, as if it would matter that I care. That is controlled folly. That's from A Separate Reality by Carlos Castaneda. It gets back down to acting out the movie. At a theater, what's up on the screen is an illusion in the sense that if we tried to touch the actors, they're not really there. The experience isn't what it seems to be, but there's still a plan, plot, and design. The story makes sense and expresses a message. It's an illusion, but it's a carefully crafted one, like life. All of existence, including death, is indeed an illusion, but it's a precisely designed, lawful illusion. The physical laws include energy, space, time, gravity, and evolution. There are emotional laws, the causes of happiness, depression, anxiety, and so forth. Then there are the spiritual laws like karma, reincarnation, astrology, and the workings of other realms, astral bodies, spirit guides, etc. The one great law covering all the other laws has been called many names: the Tao, the Way, medicine wheel, Dharma. In the East, the word Dharma is used in two ways. Dharma is the flow of the whole universe, with a capital D. Our own Dharma, small d, is whatever we need to do in order to live in harmony with the big Dharma. It's still just a movie, but that's the basic plot. And enlightenment is like the Academy Award. It's a gift directly from the producer to those of us who stop struggling against the details long enough to see exactly what role we were born to play, and then play it with all our hearts. There are as many dharmas as there are people. Some people find their destinies in tiny caves hidden away from society. Others by selling shoes, raising children, pumping gas, building houses, etc. Some people become great teachers or leaders. Some may learn the ancient wisdom in a prison cell, like you. Some people naturally touch the hearts of others through their music or performing skills. Some find their lives fulfilled by serving the poor and needy. What ties us all together is the big Dharma law. It's our basic nature to care for the well-being of every person, creature, plant, rock, and molecule of this great illusion. That's all the masters have tried to tell us. It's what karma and all the other laws are based on. We can be as greedy, cruel, or violent as we wish, but a life like that stems from the mouse's view, where the petty things seem all important, and we're always worried that we're not getting enough, or that we're going to die too soon. That's not controlled folly, it's just folly. It makes a lot more sense to seek our unique place in the great harmony, and to soar joyfully through life with the big view of the eagle, the spiritual warrior.